Hey, Mercy of Whim folks. We're here doing a magic unboxing for Guilds of Ravnica.
Yep, I'm Aurelius.
And I'm Rawkitman.
We're going to take you through, how many packs are there? I think, what, 40?
We got the whole box. We're going to be opening the whole box. We've got a separate camera set up so you can check out all the little doodads on each of the cards. If you're familiar with the set, you're probably just here to see what we're pulling out. But if not, you'll get a sneak peek at everything in the set.
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting stuff. I've played with it quite a bit, but I'm always interested to see what comes out of a box, so.
Should we do a breakdown of the one pack that's open already, talk about some of the new mechanics?
Yeah, we could quickly run through that and just kind of jump into it.
Okay, so in the one pack that we've opened already, now we've got all packs get token and, as far as I know, a gate land. That's what we pulled out of the initial pack. That's probably best so you're not mana screwed.
Yep.
And then, one of the new mechanics, Jumpstart.
Yep, Jumpstart is an interesting blue mechanic. It kind of just gives you a little bit of a boost, as the name would imply. And, yeah. So,
obviously, they've got a lot of, or for this mechanic in particular, Jumpstart allows you to play from the graveyard again while discarding a card. And there's a lot of other mechanics in this set that also allow you to interact with your graveyard for other benefits. On a separate note, we have the Mentor ability, which, is that new to this set as well?
No, I think that was previously in a Ravnica set.
Oh, that was previously in Ravnica, okay.
So, this is just something they're bringing back, and it's a wonderful ability that kind of allows you to boost the other creatures when you're attacking, so.
I'm a big fan of Mentor. I think it's a fantastic ability. Undergrowth.
Undergrowth is another awesome graveyard ability. It basically allows you to use the number of creatures or number of cards in your graveyard to benefit other activities on the field.
Convoke is back. I love Convoke, so that's...
the big Selesnya one.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about this earlier. One of the new mechanics, Surveil. So we've got Deadly Visit here, which we pulled from this pack.
Yeah, Surveil's definitely just like, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's a more powerful scry almost. That you're
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're getting to dictate if it's going to go in your graveyard where you're going to use it anyways, or if you're going to keep it on top of your library instead of having to put it all the way at the bottom. So.
Well, it would be nice if you could choose between the three. So you're either going to get it goes to the bottom, or to the graveyard. So you can choose whether or not you're going to need it to interact, or if you want to junk it. Because I know some of the decks I play, if you don't have any way of pulling stuff out of the graveyard, you do want to keep that at least in your library for future use.
But, I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends. What else do we have in here? Yeah, the Beacon Bolt, of course, one of the more popular cards, has some more graveyard interaction, Jumpstart on it as well. And then in this particular pack, this is our rare.
Yep, so this is Camaraderie. Definitely an awesome Selesnya card. Very powerful. I saw it have a pretty solid impact in the pre-release. So,
cool.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now. That's just pack one. I say we get into it. Just start pulling these packs open.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's just rip through it.
Such a good feeling, peeling open a new pack.
Oh, just the sound of it excites me.
Alright. So, yeah, we got another Guild Gate, and I got an Elf Knight.
Nice.
Love it.
Tokens.
So then, we'll just skip straight to the punch here, I suppose. Should we go right to the end?
I think so.
Alright, let's get straight to the punchline.
So we've got Amara, Soul of the Accord, so it's another Selesnya rare. Whenever the Soul of the Accord becomes tapped, create a 1/1 soldier creature token with lifelink. So,
fantastic.
That is a solid Selesnya card.
I know. Let's see what else we have in here. The Rampaging Monument sounds interesting. I would personally play that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of artifacts.
Yeah, definitely a powerful artifact. Something that was implemented pretty steadily throughout the pre-release as well.
Yeah, so looking through here right now, we've got Electrostatic Field, you've got a Defender here for relatively cheap. More Selesnya, it's quite powerful, still also generating tokens.
Yeah.
The Rhizome Launcher enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it, equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. So there you've got more graveyard interaction. It's boosting up your forces.
Undergrowth, again, is super powerful. Just like using anything that you can put things in the graveyard and just be able to use that to your advantage. Why not? It's amazing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we've got pretty much a wide array of creatures, a lot of monocolor in here, but still a fair number of multicolored that are pretty usable I'd say on their own or as part of a larger group. Like we've got elf druids, we've got human knights, centaur knights as usual. Is there anything else in here that you wanted to emphasize?
No, I think we pretty much hit all the keynotes there. Yeah, I mean, things like this artful takedown with the choose one or both, that's an interesting new development that they kind of branched into, where you can choose more than just one activity on or activated ability on a card. So yeah.
Versatility is always a bonus, so I'm glad always to see that. Goblins are back. I love me some goblins. The ornery goblin.
Goblos.
Yup. All right, we'll skip to the punch. We got an insect. We got a Dimir Guildgate again, and the Charnel Troll is our pick of the pack.
Charnel Troll, yes. It's the Golgari card, trample 4/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Charnel Troll. Otherwise, sacrifice it. Pretty awesome card.
Yep. If you've got a selection of creatures that you don't mind getting rid of, then you've got a friend in Charnel Troll.
Exactly.
Some good equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each gate you control and has vigilance and menace.
Yeah.
This is the Glaive of the Guild Pact. Wonderful piece of equipment. Obviously interacting with the gates and handing out some pretty sweet abilities, menace and vigilance.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love the menace ability. Just like it makes it so much more engaging as soon as you get that out early in the game, and people are just, they can't handle it. So
it grinds through those tokens that people tend to throw in your path. Not as good as say trample, but still. And we've got plenty more mana abilities in here. We've got the Golgari Locket, Capture Sphere, so you can...
Yeah, a little bit of control. Yeah, a little bit of exiling. And
then some, of course, red direct damage, which I'm always disappointed by. Like red, the color you don't need thumbs to play. You can win just by accidentally picking up the right cards. So
pretty much.
I always like when red is a little bit more tactical.
Yeah, I like the way they do it in Boros, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Boros, I think, gives you a little bit more thoughtfulness, especially when you're mixing anything with white.
Yeah.
Although that's why I also like Izzet, because Izzet is...
Yeah, the red-blue.
Yes. Yeah, the red-blue, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to point out in this one here? I like the Death Touch creature. Like
yes, yeah.
That's just a solid pick.
Death Touchers are a lot of fun. There is a lot of defenders that came out through this, and I think it's because there's a few mechanics that can apply to the defender. There's a card you can actually use to sacrifice defenders and use them as fuel for something. So
cool.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find that in here next.
I find a lot of the time you're using your early creatures as like small level attackers, and later on in the game you need defenders more. Yeah. You have sacrificial creatures all over the place. So I like tiered sacrificing creatures. Mm-hmm. Like your defenders, if they can sacrifice for a better ability, then you're good to go.
Exactly.
The Bird Illusion is our token. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. As always.
The Selesnya Guildgate, which I will always use. And we got a foil here. The Murmuring Mystic. It's an uncommon. Whoop, careful.
Very nice art on that. I really like that.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get a 1/1 blue bird illusion token. Oh, we already got that one.
Yes.
Now here's our pick of the pack, the Unmoored Ego.
Okay, so yeah, this is actually one of the more powerful cards, especially for Dimir. Choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. It's extremely powerful control, I find.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of the older cards that used to just like remove entire swaths of cards from players' decks. You're taking care of the problem before it becomes a problem. But at least this card allows the player to draw cards to compensate. Yeah. So I mean, like, you're not totally screwed, but it's a pretty mean message.
It's a pretty deep cut. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Here we have another defender, a 4/3 defender actually. Mm-hmm. Although the Piston Fist Cyclops, as long as if you cast an instant or sorcery this turn, Piston Fist Cyclops can attack as though it didn't have defender. So that's a fun one. And also, even though it's got the Izzet colors, it can be played in blue or red decks.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fantastic bit of versatility. I don't know when that came out, but there's actually a bunch of these. The Pitiless Gorgon is... you've got black, green, and then the Fresh-Faced Recruit also is the white-red.
Yeah.
So you're not tied to a guild.
Exactly. It gives you a bit more maneuverability. So.
What else do we have in here? Legion Guild Mage. I love the Guild Mages. They've always been a highlight for me.
Always very powerful.
The Legion Guild Mage, a red and 5 colorless, deal 3 damage to each opponent. Not bad. And then 2 and a white to tap another target creature. Which, I mean, a little expensive, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd point out in here? The Beam Splitter Mage, great.
Yep, Beam Splitter Mage is a good Izet card. And honestly, I think other than that, really it's just like, I don't know. It's all just a lot of the same stuff you're going to see throughout the deck, throughout the pack. Like the commons are just, they're common.
And I haven't been particularly disappointed with a lot of the commons that I've seen so far. Like, there's a few that are a little pricey that maybe I wouldn't play, but if you're late game and you've got a common that has an expensive ability, if it does the right trick, sometimes it'll save your butt. So there's nothing that I don't think I wouldn't play or wouldn't draft. Like, it's not crippling.
Yeah.
It's just maybe not as useful. All right. So we have a goblin. The Selesnya Guildgate, and then we have the Pelt Collector. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, if that creature's power is greater than Pelt Collector's, put a +1/+1 counter on Pelt Collector. So it's 1 mana for a 1/1. Also, as long as Pelt Collector has 3 or more +1/+1 counters, it has Trample.
Yeah.
1 mana for a little creature that gets big relatively quickly. Like, that's a killer turn 1.
Yeah, that's a deadly start to the game when you come out like that and you're ready to start growing right off the hop. Like, you're gonna have a good game.
Yeah. Not quite Scoot Mob. I was playing my old cards recently and I pulled a Scoot Mob like turn 1 and I was like, this is gonna be a tough time. Tough time for you.
Yeah.
Now I like these double cards that they came out with again. Double cards once again with versatility. You've got 2 cards on there. You don't necessarily have to play.
Flower and Flourish. You can play one or the other, right? So yeah, I love the way they've divided that in the throughout the guilds. Basically, just I don't know. It gives you more maneuverability and more options in your play style, no matter what you're doing. So
and like 2 completely different things too. Not like one of those ones. Some of the other cards that have the choose 1 or 2 of these abilities. This one is clearly 2 different spells, and now they don't have the mechanic in this that allows you to play both spells though, because I think they had that in one of the older sets. Didn't they allow you to play some of them with 2?
Yeah.
Both spells off the same card?
I think so.
Okay. The Dimir Spybug, Flying Menace. When you surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on it, so you're getting bonuses to surveil with this one.
Yeah, this one was actually like another one that I really liked to see throughout the pre-release, because a lot of people were taking huge advantage of the surveil ability, and just this Spybug was just flying over for massive damage. So
now, speaking of surveil, this is a fantastic card. Price of Fame.
Oh yeah.
I was reading about this one earlier, and it is a no-brainer for a draft if you've got black.
Yeah, it's 3 and 1 black, and this spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature. Destroy target creature, and then surveil 2. Yeah, very powerful.
And then on the other side of the board, we've got some white creature removal that I also just love the art for. Color the Culprit. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater.
Yeah.
It's got some fun art on there too. It's not as serious as most Magic cards, which I appreciate. That's why I like goblins and things.
Oh yeah. I definitely like those mischievous guys.
There's plenty of good stuff in here once again, like the Watcher in the Mist, 3/4 flyer for 5 mana, and when it enters the battlefield, you surveil 2. So it's really taking everything apart, pulling through your deck, getting to the good stuff, and also putting some roadblocks up in the way. So it plays a little bit differently than some of the other sets, like the not necessarily the other Ravnica stuff or the other guild stuff, but I like it. I like the style of play. I like creatures in general. All right, Elf Knight, Selesnya Guildgate. And here we go!
Oh.
The Mythic Rare. Our pick of the pack is Lazav the Multifarious.
Oh yeah.
Take a read of that one.
So when Lazav the Multifarious enters the battlefield, surveil 1. And then pay X, and Lazav the Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav the Multifarious. It's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has this ability.
And it's no slouch on its own, but being able to clone is pretty snaz.
Oh, that's awesome, yeah.
I like the legendary stuff that they have throughout. Like, I don't think it makes it less special to have more legendaries, but changing the way that, like, the game uses them, like having these, like, miniature heroes, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
More creature removal. The Plague Crafter. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, and each player who can't discards a card. So that's a good penalty for people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What else do we have here? The Garrison Sergeant, fantastic. Has double strike as long as you control a gate. Boros, one of my favorite groups.
Yep.
The favorite of the guilds, I think, is just having that white-red versatility. Covers all your bases.
Exactly. Plus, it's just a cool lizard wearing armor, so that's always fun.
Yeah, no. I want armor-wearing lizards on my team.
Right.
This is interesting. Radical idea. Radical, man. It's a blue and a colorless, draw card, and jumpstart. Like, you're just getting random card draw.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's exactly worth it, but it's, I don't know. If you could pair this with something else, maybe it would be more worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're... I like to see the black-blue dynamic come together with Surveil and card draw, because then you're deciding what you're drawing. You're putting that in your graveyard, and then you're drawing something that's going to be useful to use it, or you're just leaving it there and you're drawing it anyways, so...
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, let's keep the ball rolling. Let's see what else we get out of here.
How many packs are we going through?
Oh, not many. We have a lot to go through. We're gonna have to fast forward at some point. I think we could just like pull straight to the bottom. More Bird Illusion, Boros Guild Cage. We have a foil Sky Knight Legionnaire.
Beautiful.
Flying in haste.
2/2.
Always nice.
Yeah. Beautiful card.
And the pick of the pack is Erratic Cyclops. It's a 0/8 trample.
Okay.
Pointless, you might say. Hold on. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Erratic Cyclops gets +X+0, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. So that's
erratic.
It's very erratic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would be particularly excited because...
Curious why a Cyclops would have so many viewing windows on his diving mask. Because he only has one eye. I don't know.
And we've got some other fun stuff in here too. It's another giant. Well, they got the Cyclops, and then we have the Swath Cutter Giant. It's a 5/5 with Vigilance, and when it attacks, deals 1 damage to each creature defending player controls. That's fun.
Oh, that's a kick in the pants right there.
Yeah, that'll take out your white weenie deck real fast.
Oh yeah. Kind of swath right through all those tokens.
And then, of course, something that everyone loves and hates is the white control Demotion. It's a 1-mana aura. Enchanted creature can't block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. So they can still attack, but still, like, you're taking away the activated abilities is a big deal, and not being able to block just allows you to punch that extra harder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely a good form of control because you're not completely debilitating them, but it's enough to antagonize.
Vicious Rumors, small sorcery, 1 black mana, deals 1 damage to each opponent, then each opponent discards a card, then puts the top card of their library into their graveyard, and you gain 1 life.
Yeah.
So you've got discard effects, you've got life gain, you're crippling your opponent from their hand and from their library.
Yeah.
And also, that's just a creepy picture.
Oh yeah, no, terrifying, but very effective. And that was something that I know I got beaten by several times in the pre-release. So.
Yeah, it's cheap and it's annoying and it'll mess
exactly,
you up.
Exactly.
And here's another mechanic too. The Iron Shell Beetle is a fun one. It's 2 mana for a 1/1 and you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, right? You're just beefing up something.
Or you can throw it in at the beginning of the game. I like to do that and then just beef itself up.
Exactly, yeah. You've got options. I think it plays well as a 2/2, but if it comes out late game, you're at least buffing up something better than it.
Yep.
So the 1/1 counters, never a bad idea.
Never a bad idea. I do love insects. They're so much fun.
All right. Well, let's here, take a peek at those and see if you find anything else you want to chat about.
Well, no, I do like Loxodons. They're just, elephants. They're awesome. Spiders.
More elephants.
Yeah, spiders. They're hilarious, but always just like so redundantly, underpowered.
Yeah. Spiders are kind of filler for the most part, unless they've got some weird ability.
Yeah.
There's never any spider synergy. Like, where's the nest of spiders that
right?
explode?
Where's Shelob's lair?
I'd go for that.
Oh yeah.
Goblin. Is it Guildgate? And then we have Expansion and Explosion. It's a double spell rare.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay, so we got Expansion. Copy target instant or sorcery spell within converted mana cost 4 or less. You may choose new targets for the copy. And Explosion. Explosion deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards. So that's a pretty deadly Izzet card right there.
It's a little pricey, but it gets the job done. For the Explosion in particular. Expansion, obviously, is a very particular card, only with a casting cost 4 or less, so
Yep.
it's not too overpowered, but it'll still make a mess out of anyone's day.
Yeah, and I like to use these kinds of cards in Commander just because, I mean, anything with X gets so much more powerful in Commander.
Absolutely.
You're going to end up long game, and you're going to end up being like, oh, X is now 10, so that's
Yeah.
so much more influential.
Yep, all those cards that can benefit you late game.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have
The
here.
bombs, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they scale upward, though. Like, you can use it early on in the game. And it's, for 5 or 6 mana, it's not bad. But then if you're playing it for like 12, 13 mana,
Oh, yeah. It'll get the job done.
really wrecks it. Goblin Crater Maker.
Nice.
1, sacrifice it. It's a 2 mana 2/2, so that's not too bad. But you can either have it deal 2 damage to target creature or destroy target colorless non-land permanent.
Ooh.
That's pretty powerful.
That is, you could do so much damage with that.
2 mana 2/2, and you can sack it to wreck a colorless thing.
You could wreck Ugin or a Karn or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's just like super powerful but colorless.
And that's the kind of red versatility and like diversity from just damage. Like you've got the Command the Storm 5 mana for 5 damage to a creature, not even a player.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's okay, but that's what red just does.
Yeah, just
dumps
direct
damage.
damage.
Yeah, they've got some really like scaled up cards here, I think. Like you've got a green or a white and a colorless for a 2/2 vigilance in the Vernati Shieldmate.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty powerful card, I would say.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, like anything with vigilance and you can get it out early,
Yeah.
you're in a good spot.
And once again, the white control Luminous Bonds. 3 mana for enchanted creature can't attack or block.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's all still based on creatures, but you know what? Before we open this pack, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break because this is going to take a little bit longer than we have left on camera. So we'll come back in just a moment after we've had a moment to get a drink of water and everything.
And we're back, ready for some more pack unveiling.
We've got plenty of packs left to open here. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to pull because I haven't played in the pre-release of this, although you have.
Yeah, so I have a little bit more experience with it, but ooh.
Got an emblem. Different. It's Ral's emblem. When you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 4 damage to any target and you draw 2 cards. So Ral, obviously.
Actually, I'll show that one.
Oh yeah, show that one off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful card. Ugh.
Also, the Golgari Guildgate, and our pick of the pack is the Overgrown Tomb. It's Swamp Forest, and as it enters the battlefield, you can pay 2 life, and if you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped.
Yep.
So, it's, standard mana acceleration. You've got all your colors, but I'm not sure, would you play the life-paying abilities?
Yeah, if it's early game and you want to get a jump start on somebody, it's worth paying. If you're like, oh, I have 20 life, I can spare 2.
Yeah, I generally... Yeah, if it's like round 1 or 2.
Like you have to think of life, in my opinion, as a resource that you can expend if it propels you forward to eliminate the enemy first.
Yes, I would be more keen on doing that if I had some life gain, like if I had a lifelink creature in my deck. Yeah, I would play that more if I had some lifelink. Then I wouldn't have to worry about spending the life nearly as much.
Or if you draw a hand and you realize, oh, I don't have one of my other 2 colors, and this can be that. So.
Yes, absolutely. We've got pretty much the same that we've been pulling, same old deadweight. Enchant creature gets -2/-2 for 1 mana. That's not bad.
Yep.
I like the Boros Challenger, of course. Like I said, I love Boros.
Yeah, he's just a 1 red, 1 white, 2/3 mentor. Then you can pay 2 and 1 red, 1 white. Boros Challenger gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it's a solid Boros card.
We've got another Vicious Rumors in here, which I love. I mean, it's just a common, but every time I see that, I go, "Ooh, that looks dark."
It's
so dark.
It's so dark.
I thought that said Gateway Pizza. I was excited. Gateway Plaza. It's a gate land. When it enters the battlefield, you sacrifice it unless you pay 1 and tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Gateway Plaza, fantastic card.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Transguild Promenade, but in the newest set. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish it was Gateway Pizza. I mean, who wouldn't appreciate that?
And I think because everyone likes pizza, of course it makes 1 mana of any color. Right?
Obviously, yeah. Pizza's for everyone.
Oh, I just love this first card here. The comment on top is Maximum Velocity.
That is intense. Okay.
Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. That's great. I love cheap haste abilities.
And I love the artwork of just like a little lizard packed up with way too much technology flying through the air. That's awesome.
We've got an Elf Knight as our token. We got a Boros Guildgate, and
this one is a great card.
Yes, Izoni Thousand-Eyed.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. So it's two black and 2 green. It's got Undergrowth. So when Izoni Thousand-Eyed enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green instant creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. So that you can pay 1 black, 1 green, sacrifice another creature. You gain 1 life and draw a card. So this is like instrumental in any Golgari deck. It's so powerful. I have it in a commander deck right now. It's super useful.
We got another double card here for Izzet. Invert and Invent. Switch the power and toughness of up to 2 target creatures, or search your library for an instant card or sorcery card, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your library. So you've got 2 very interesting effects there paired up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I would want to use both of them, but obviously if you have the mana for the tutor, you'd want to do that immediately.
Yeah.
And here's what I was talking about. So if you're going to be spending life on something, you want something simple like this. Healer's Hawk is 1 mana for a 1/1 flying lifelink.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're that early in the game, not a lot of people have a flyer out, so it's like that's something that's going to be able to establish a base for you to basically just grow your life from and win.
Yeah, and that is using life as a resource.
Yeah.
Just having that little flyer out, just you do a little bit of damage to them, and they're not really worrying about it, but it gives you that little extra cushion. It gives you a little leg up on them. Mm-hmm. So far the rest of the cards, like I said before, like it's all very creature oriented. The creatures tend to balance fairly well. Mm-hmm. Take a peek at these ones.
Pitiless Gorgon again, Fresh Face Recruit. So yeah, we got
Love
a few. Oh, the Affectionate Indrik. I just love that. It's just hilarious. It's just, I mean, it's a 5 and 1 green. Honestly, it's one of my favorite flavor tests. It says the problem isn't the Indrik's enthusiasm; it's Ravnica's lack of guardrails. It's just a dinosaur shoving a guy off a ledge.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, what's that really doing dinosaurs in? What's that?
Oh man!
It was like there were so many dinosaurs.
I know. I don't want to say it because I can't remember, and I'm just gonna like make a fool of myself. So
yeah, no, I just remember I bought like a couple of packs for it because I thought it was interesting, and then after I saw the dinosaurs, I thought, I don't know, man.
There's really only like, from what I understand, a couple of dinosaurs that were any good, and unless you're building a strictly dinosaur deck, it's kind of doesn't seem like it's very effective.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a throwback to like the old days of when they would say, hey, we came up with a synergy idea, maybe this will work, and it totally didn't.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know. If someone's gonna whoop me with a dinosaur deck, please. Come at me, bro.
I've seen some effective dinosaur decks, but it is like a strictly like this is Jurassic Park and Magic, so it's like
that's a little strange.
Yeah.
So new pack, pick of the pack is Narcomoeba. It's a 1/1 flyer for 2 mana. When Narcomoeba is put into your graveyard from your library, you may put it on the battlefield.
Nice.
That's just great.
That's just some good old blue magic right there.
Yeah. Blue messing with you. Oh, this is fun. Right underneath that, 1 mana for a 2/2 defender, blue. Whenever you surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on Thoughtbound Phantasm. As long as Thoughtbound Phantasm has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it has attack. It can attack as though it didn't have defender. So that's a fun card.
That's just a doozy of a defender right there. He just grows and grows, and then he's a problem. So.
Yeah. It's good. It's good early game, and then it turns into a your best friend late game too.
Yeah.
The Ledev champion, also another fun one I was looking at. It creates tokens with lifelink. Of course, it is 5 mana to create a 1/1 white soldier lifelink token, but it's a 3 mana for a 2/2. And also when it attacks, you can tap any number of untapped creatures, and it gets +1/+1 for each creature tapped that way. So all on its own, it's great, even if it's not making other little creatures.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, I'd say if you had a little bit of ramp in your deck and you could get up to 5 mana easy enough, then it's definitely a great instrument.
Now, I haven't seen a ton so far. I haven't seen a ton of mana acceleration. Like, you're pretty much dependent on traditional mana sources at the same rate.
Yep.
There's not a lot of...
There's not a ton of mana rocks, but they did actually, something I was very excited about this, they reprinted Chromatic Lantern.
Yes, Chromatic Lantern will definitely boost you up, but that's only 1 card. And it's also hard to come by.
It is hard to come by, but it is something that, I mean, it's it's pivotal in any deck. You can put that anywhere and it's going to be effective. So,
Absolutely.
like you said, though, I didn't see much else aside from that. There wasn't a ton of ramp.
And that's why I would be hesitant to depend on its ability to create small creatures, because if you don't have a ton of mana on hand anyway, I'm not sure I'd want to spend 5 mana for a 1/1 lifelink token.
Yeah.
Especially when you have something as powerful as this. The Rhizome Lurcher, 2 mana, a black and a green, and its Undergrowth ability, it enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard.
Yeah.
So it's 4 mana for a 2/2, but it's probably coming out as like, what, a 6?
At least a 4/4, like, depending on what you've got in there. Like,
if you've been surveilling or chewing through your little stuff, it's going to be a decent creature. That's what I would rather spend my mana on. Yeah. Take a peek at some of these. There's a good Centaur in there, actually, that I would play.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, the Darkblade Agent. That was a lot of fun, actually. I remember using that quite a bit. So it's a 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. It's 2/3. And as long as you've surveilled this turn, Darkblade Agent has Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So this thing just instantly getting Death Touch makes it so much more impactful. And if you're using a Surveil deck, then this is just, it's hilarious. You just can't do anything about it.
That's a fantastic candidate for some decent equipment.
Exactly, yeah.
I got plenty of Izzet Guild Gates, which I'm very pleased about.
Nice.
Thief of Sanity. So we've got a really nice pick of the pack here. It's a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana. When it deals combat damage to a player, you look at the top 3 cards of that player's library, exile one of them face down, and then put the rest in the graveyard. For as long as that card remains exiled, you can look at it, you can cast it, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell.
Yeah, this thing is super powerful, and I've used it so many times I can't even count. It's one of my favorite specters. It just, I don't know, it works so well. It's flying. It allows you to play the other team's cards for whatever you want for any mana color. Like, it's just so well rounded.
Immediately you've got a cheap flyer, and then you're stealing spells out from under them. Like, it's not even milling them or forcing discards. You're actually casting them against the other player. So I mean, any way you use it is deadly. Once again, the Guild Mages are always fun. The Swarm Guild Mage, which is the black green one. 5 mana, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace. That all your creatures get menace. So, a great way to overwhelm people. And then for 2 mana, a green and a colorless, and tap, you gain 2 life. So that's a lot of fun with the Guild Mages.
Yeah, I do like working with their abilities.
And now this is the standard mana source that you're getting outside of your lands or your gates. Is the Locket.
The Locket. So each guild has its own Locket with its appropriate colors. Pretty much the same ability across the board, where it's tap, add one or the other of the guild's colors, and then pay 4 and tap to sacrifice this to draw 2 cards. So it's pretty straightforward mechanic, but it's definitely if you need another mana rock, it's good. So
yep. Especially what do they call it again? When they have legendaries or artifacts. What do they call? I forget what the type of card is. I don't know. They have them in Dominaria, but you can use them for that as well.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
I forget what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, outside of the set too, if you wanted to use it for more diversity, like I thoroughly enjoy artifacts personally, so I always like to see when they're using new functions.
Yeah.
Inside of artifacts, because they're colorless. You can put them in anything.
Yeah.
More rats.
Oh yeah.
Burglar rat.
I love rat decks. They're just so much fun. It's so cheesy.
Yeah. I don't know how many non-common rats. There's a few uncommons. There's no rare rats. There's no like Rat King or anything.
There are rare rats. They're back from what is that Japanese set that came out?
Kamigawa? Yeah, because they had like rat ninjas and stuff.
Yeah, they had ninjutsu as one of the most powerful abilities.
Oh my god, ninjutsu!
Yeah, ninjutsu, and just rats in general in that set were amazing, but they've put some new rats in this, so that's pretty exciting.
Lava Coil, 2 mana, red spell, deals 4 damage to target creature, and if it dies, it's exiled. Once again, just red direct damage. It's stupid. Literally, it is stupid. Like, you don't have to have a brain to play this. That's my general criticism.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
And then on the other side of it, you've got Convoke, so you're like hedging your bets. You got a 4/4 for 5 mana, but it could be cheaper and it has Vigilance. I'd play the Rosemane Centaur.
Yep.
Hands down.
Half horse, half man, all magic.
Oh yeah. Does some damage.
Beautiful.
The type is Centaur too, which is interesting. There is no like Centaur synergy. There's no Centaur based abilities, because I know that they did that with Minotaurs, and then what else have they done those for? A few other strange types where they'll have.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, they'll have some of the stranger creature types have synergy. I wanted
like the merfolk have like island walk and things like that.
Yeah, you can get like a lord that'll beef all of them.
Yeah.
What I really wanted was like, for a while they had like squirrels and goats and stuff, and I wanted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, just like random animals. Like.
So in the new pack, the pick of the pack is Mission Briefing.
Ooh,
2 mana for an instant with Surveil ability.
Yeah, this is an incredibly powerful card. So Surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So basically, you're just getting your pick of whatever you're looking at when you're surveilling, and you can play something else from your graveyard if need be. But it's a brilliant card, definitely super effective.
Absolutely. Love blue. Blue can mess you up really bad. There's like so many different ways to use it. Like when I build a blue deck, it's really hard to hand over to someone else. Like you have to really know what's coming up and know how to like manipulate someone else with the blue cards that you know will be coming up eventually.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting combos you can make, but you really got to know your blue.
Yeah, yeah.
More creatures, more. We've got some auras in here just to beef things up. 4 mana for +3/+2 in Vigilance, which I would love to play. Not a lot of lifelink though, which they've got it on a few of the creatures, but not a lot, which I appreciate too. And Death Touch is actually, I don't know, it's pretty prevalent throughout the set.
I mean, I would say it's not overwhelming, but it's definitely, there's a few cards with it, so it's effective. It's something that they've implemented well, I would say.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
One effect that I'm glad that they haven't gone back to recently is the fight effect. At least not for this set.
Yeah, they did throw Prey Upon in here, so it's basically just a direct fight card instant.
Oh, they have Prey Upon in this set?
Yeah, it's nothing too spectacular.
At least there's no creature with fight or fight auras or anything like that.
Yeah.
Here we go. Niv Mizzet Parun.
Oh my god.
There we go. It's Legendary Dragon Wizard.
Yeah, so 3 blue and 3 red. This spell can't be countered. Flying 5/5. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet Parun deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. This is pretty much just like you go and win the game when you play him.
Yeah. It's 6 mana for a 5/5 flyer, immediately good, and then the abilities are also quite crippling.
Yeah, you can stack around him so easily. It's just, I love Niv Mizzet. It's so much fun.
Now, this is something that I've noticed. The Haunted Witness is a fun little 1/1 human, and when it dies, it makes a 1/1 soldier token with lifelink. So you're getting your lifelink, but not immediately. Like it's a little bit delayed. Also,
the fun in that card is just that you get to continue to use it even after it's dead. So.
Yeah, it's a free sacrifice.
Yeah, and it looks hilarious. I mean, just look at
that's some weird, creepy art.
But I just love anything that like continues to play out after you paid its cost. So.
Devious Cover Up, that's fun. Counter target spell for 4 mana. If the spell's countered in this way, exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. You can shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard to your library. So that's a versatile counter. There's not a ton of counters around these days, and it's pretty effective.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not a big fan of counters. I think it's just super frustrating when somebody has a deck full of things that don't let me play the game. So, it's like, why am I here?
Whenever I play my land destruction deck, I always catch it from my friends because they're like, I can't even play my spells now. You've blown up all my lands.
Play a land destruction deck? That's just that's just bad people.
No, I know. It's a way to start fights with your friends.
Oh.
And same thing with my discard deck. Like I've got a Liliana's Caress deck that.
See, I'm okay with
discard.
Your day. Discard's okay because I was playing a friend of mine last night who had Liliana in his deck, and he was doing all this discard, making me draw a bunch of extra stuff, but I was just playing for my graveyard anyway, so it didn't matter.
There you go. At least you still have, you can play stuff from your graveyard, or you can draw it out with other abilities, but when it comes to like land destruction or milling, like if you're milling away lands, then you can't even pull it out of the graveyard at that point, so I find milling to be personally quite annoying.
I think it's hilarious, but I guess we're on the same page for milling and for counters.
Also, the thing about counters is that they're usually rather expensive.
Yeah.
And you kind of know when someone's got a counter because they've got something in their hand.
Yeah, they leave mana floating, and you're like.
Which, I mean, it's an interesting bluff if you're playing a blue deck to just leave mana untapped with a random card in your hand. That can really mess with people.
Oh yeah. So this one here, Golgari Finebroker, is one of my favorites. It's a 3/4, and when Golgari Finebroker enters the battlefield, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So that can be super effective. getting your artifacts, creatures back, and everything like that's just like, why not?
And all by itself, you're paying 4 mana for a 3/4, so that's pretty effective too.
Yep.
Alright, so the pick of this pack is the Steam Vents. It's the Island Mountain, so the same one we had before. You're paying some life for extra mana.
Yep. Beautiful looking card too.
What else do we have? Did we already do Discovery Dispersal? I don't know. This one?
No.
It's another one of these double cards. Looks pretty nice, actually. They seem to... The trend they're following is one cheap one, one expensive one.
Yeah, so Discovery and Dispersal. So it's Discovery is a sorcery. You can surveil 2, then draw a card. And Dispersal is each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest converted mana cost among permanents they control to its owner's hand, then discards a card. So... yeah, that can be a pretty good slap in the face if you're just, about to strike with your massive plan and then get wiped out, so.
Alright.
Let's see here.
So I think we're almost halfway through now. Halfway through the whole box.
I'd say, like, we've gone over or seen most of the most important things that are just, like, worth looking at, I'd say.
We pulled, of the rares, we pulled quite a few. Now, the Planeswalkers aren't available in the box. You have to get the Planeswalker decks for those, I believe.
Yes, that's my understanding. So,
but the rares that we have pulled, I think, are pretty good. Like, if I was saying, am I satisfied with this box to someone, I would say yes. Like so far,
there's some money in the cards. There's definitely some good positive abilities in the cards and everything.
There's play value and money value. Yeah. So we're halfway through and I'm already satisfied. Yeah. It would have to go really downhill. Oh, we finally got the insect token. There we go. Golgari. We got the Healer Hawk foil here. Ooh. If you want to separate that out, love the Healer Hawk.
Do love me some foil.
And we got the Watery Grave, the blue-black life pay for your mana. And another Gateway Pizza!
Yes. I'm going to refer to that as Gateway Pizza.
It's Gateway Pizza!
That can never be unseen.
Alright, so... we've got a few more cards left to do, it looks like, here, but we're going to take another little break, and then we're going to get back into it. I'm excited to see what we get for the rest of this box.
Yeah, so come on back and we're going to keep going with this. Back at it. Here we go.
So we stopped partway through the last pack because actually I wanted to throw up a couple other cards here that I was really impressed with. The Crackling Drake. Yep. Super fun. So power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards. You have an exile and your graveyard. Yeah. So it's a star 4 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card.
That's pretty sweet.
It's a snazzy card. I'd play that in a heartbeat.
Yep. Yeah, that is pretty mean looking.
Where was the other one I was looking at in here? Well, you get the Veiled Shade if you're looking to buff up a black creature. It's a black and a colorless to get +1/+1 till end of turn. Starts as a 2/2. It's not bad. And just as I was talking about, there was no fight in this. Aside from Prey Upon, there is Undercity Uprising. It's 4 mana. Creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. Then target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So... yeah. I mean, it's straight up creature removal in a roundabout way because your Death Touch thing is fighting something.
Yeah. No, I do love those things where you're just like, all right, and everything I have is going to kill everything you have. So, let's do this.
Well, it's a one-on-one fight, and then all the rest of your Death Touch stuff is going to siege through and smash it.
Yeah, unless someone's desperately in need of blocking it, but... it's the Hazda Marshal.
Yeah, that's a fun card. I love white weenies. Whenever it attacks with 2 other creatures, you create a 1/1 white soldier token with lifelink. So there actually is a fair amount of lifelink tokens that keep popping up.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of, I think it was Pre-Saint Captain was a similar kind of mechanic, and it's basically just, it's so powerful when you're buffing and building more tokens. You're just kind of, I don't know, so much synchronicity.
Yeah, and throwing up barriers in front of your opponents too. Like you're never gonna run out of these little mooks to dump in the way of stuff.
I'm so frustrated when I'm like trying to attack somebody and I forget that they have a 1/1 token. I'm like, cool, that was pointless.
But then you get stuff like this. The Book Devourer. It's a 4/5 beast for 6 mana and trample. And whenever Book Devourer deals combat damage to a player, you may discard all the cards in your hand, and if you do, draw that many cards. So you've got a trample creature here that's gonna wipe out those tokens, and you can swap out all your crap that you don't like.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a fun
one. I like the artwork on that, and that's an awesome card.
I like to do the meticulous, the tiny bite in the package. Because if you tear it open too quickly, you might bend a card.
Yeah, never want to bend a card.
No. I'm not sure if they should have like in the cigarette packages, they have a little strip. You just do just pull the top off and shake the cards out. That really feed my addiction.
Yeah.
To unwrap cards faster. Yeah.
That's what you need.
That's exactly what I need. Yeah. More magic cards faster. Beautiful. Vivid Revival. Check that out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's standard green.
Yep. Sorcery, 4 mana, 1 green. Return up to 3 target multicolored cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Vivid Revival. This is, that's just beautiful. I love being able to return things to my hand.
And on the same note, we have an artifact here, the Wand of Vertebrae.
Ooh, I love this card. I actually just used it last night. So much fun. Wand of Vertebrae, 1 mana, 1 colorless, and tap. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Pay 2 and tap. Exile Wand of Vertebrae. Shuffle up to 5 target cards from your graveyard into your library. So it just allows you to just shuffle things around from graveyard play and making sure there's enough in your graveyard if you're using that mechanic.
Yep. And then Thought Erasure, this is another fun one. Opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it and they discard it. So it's a blue-black, and then you also get to surveil 1 with that. So I'm a big fan of discard abilities, and that's a pretty cheap, fun one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm excited to build a deck out of some of this.
Oh yeah.
And so when you played in the pre-release, what was your deck?
So I played the 2 different pre-releases. One of them was I think I wanted to play Selesnya, but I ended up playing Dimir. And then another one I wanted to play Dimir, and I ended up playing Golgari. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Golgari's nothing to scoff at, though. I don't mess people.
No, it wasn't as effective as it could have been. I think that was just my attempt at making a deck with cards that weren't there. So.
Yeah, I mean that's the tough part about drafting. You never know where you're going to get pushed,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Our pick of this pack is Citywide Bust. Destroy all creatures with power 4 or toughness 4 or greater, I believe.
Toughness 4 or greater. Yeah, that's awesome. And then just that guy's base, so good.
Always need those board wipes.
So disgruntled. Yeah. Love me some board wipes.
And then on the other side, Join Shields is green, white, and 3 mana. Untap all creatures you control. They gain hexproof and indestructible.
Ooh, yeah, that's some effective work with the Conclave there, working against Lesnia. Super effective.
That is tough to deal with. And, okay, this stuck out immediately, too. The Arboretum Elemental. It's 9 mana for a 7/5 hexproof, but it has Convoke. So that will make a mess out of someone else's day if you can Convoke it all the way down.
Yeah, that's a nasty creature to come flying out of nowhere when you've got a bunch of tokens being mana.
This is a fun-looking bit of art, and also a fun card. Hypothesizzle.
Ooh.
For Shizzle, my Hypothesizzle.
I like the name already.
Yeah, if Snoop Dogg was a wizard, we found his card. Draw 2 cards. It's 5 mana, draw 2 cards, and then you may discard a non-land card, and when you do, Hypothesizzle deals 4 Dizzle to target Crizzle.
That's, couldn't have put it better myself.
There we go. Here's your Prey Upon. Oh, and a fun giant soldier called the Hammer Dropper. It's got Mentor on it, and it's a 5/2 for 4 mana. That's all good.
Nice.
And, of course, the red damage rears its head again. The Inescapable Blaze. That's just like a good shorthand for all red damage.
Yeah, it's just
Inescapable Blaze.
Basically, you just, burn everyone, so the spell can't be countered. Inescapable Blaze deals 6 damage to any target. Any target.
Yep. Just fun. There's a lot of creature-specific damage, but...
It's like the movie Backdraft in a Magic card.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
And now here we're talking about the Defender abilities. So this is a 1 mana for a 0/3 Defender, but it has another ability.
Yeah, so the pay 2 and tap it to sacrifice a creature with Defender to draw a card. So if you've got a series of Defenders in a deck, or a deck built around Defend, then you can use this to have a little draw mechanic.
And card draw, I mean, in terms of like getting ahead in this game, obviously, like your mana is a little bit hindered, so your card draw is going to be where you're going to get your mana boosts from. You're not going to get it from another ability.
Exactly. This is actually a really good card if you're using it in a draft, because I used it to block something that it was going to die, and then I used its ability to get a card out of it.
Of course, yeah. Block a creature, get a card. Yeah. Absolutely makes sense. Soldier, Selesnya Guildgate, and Imara Soul of the Accord. We already got another one of these.
We did get Imara earlier. It's still a great card.
Still a
beautiful card.
Oh, yeah. The League Guild Mage, tap 3 and a blue and tap to draw a card, and then also tap X and tap red to copy target instant or sorcery spell you control with converted mana cost X. You may choose new targets for the copy. So you're copying your own spells with this Guild Mage.
Ooh, that is deadly.
That is tough.
Yeah,
we
that does what they want.
More Gateway Pizza! Gateway Pizza! Giving you one of whatever you want. Yeah, plenty good in here. Still satisfied, still loving it.
Yeah, I think we're going to be ripping through the rest of these packs pretty quick now that we've seen most of the cards that are in the set.
Yeah. Now we've got a foil gold here, actually, for Response and Resurgence.
Wow, okay.
Which is nice.
Very nice card, yeah. So, Response is an instant for 2 mana, and Response deals 5 damage to target attack on a blocked creature, and Resurgence is a 5 mana sorcery. Creatures you control gain First Strike and Vigilance until end of turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. So, this is just like, it's a beautiful card.
So we pulled that, the gold foil. This is the other card that was right underneath it.
Oh my good god.
This is a hell of a pack.
Okay, Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. It's a mythic rare, 4 mana, legendary creature, angel, 2/5 flyer. It's a mentor. At the beginning of the combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control until end of turn. That creature gets +2/+0, gains trample if it's red, and gains vigilance if it's white.
That's amazing!
Aurelia, as always, just kicking ass and taking names.
This is a hell of a pack. Also, right underneath that, enhanced surveillance. So it gives you 2 additional cards each time you surveil, and then you can sacrifice it to shuffle your graveyard into your library.
Yeah, this card totally threw me for a loop when I was playing against it in the pre-release. I didn't see it coming. Somebody I was milling out completely just shuffled everything back in and swept me. So
if I had pulled this pack, I would be so torn on what I was going to draft out of it. There's also the Goblin Electromancer. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana, makes your instants and sorceries cheaper by 1.
Oh, yep.
Fantastic card.
Yep.
And then I don't think we've seen this one yet. Severed Strands. As additional cost, you sack a creature. You gain life equal to its toughness. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. 2 mana. You gain life. Get rid of a creature you have, but they get rid of their thing.
Yep. So good stuff.
This is a great pack.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why can't they be all be like that?
I know, right? I'll take a foil rare, a mythic rare, and just a mishmash of the best uncommons.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We may have hit a pinnacle experience there.
I'm not sure we're going to get too many more packs that good. Mausoleum Secrets. Take a look at that.
Oh, okay. So it's a 2 mana, and it's an instant. So it's 1 and 1 black. Undergrowth, search your library for a black card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So I like the artwork on this too. I think it's definitely a very effective card as far as Undergrowth goes as a mechanic. If you're building a deck around that, you definitely want to slide this in there.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Gets the job done.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some other fun stuff in here too. I think the Erstwhile Trooper is another fun one because it allows you to discard creature cards to give it abilities, and then given the level of interaction with your graveyard, I think that's a 2-fold bonus.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty effective card all around for Golgari purposes.
Now, we've also got one of my favorites. It's a common, but it does exactly what you need it to. Sworn Companions is Raise the Alarm bumped up. It's 2 mana and a white, and you get 2 1/1 lifelink creatures.
Yeah.
So that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's just a fantastic card. And then the other ones that I picked out were Justice Strike. Just basic Boros badassness.
Oh yeah, Justice Strike. I just love the picture too. Just awesome. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 mana takes care of a creature usually. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of it, Sinister Sabotage, a slightly cheaper counter spell that comes with some surveil.
Yeah. All right, motoring right along here. A foil?
Yeah, we got a foil common here, Severed Strands, which
we went over earlier, but
and
still a beautiful card.
Our rare is the Sacred Foundry, so more pay life to untap a dual land. Yeah, I'm going to set aside this Enhanced Surveillance just to remind me, because that is a great card. I'm looking at all the surveil in here. I'm wondering if I'm going to play, like, I would probably play with Enhanced Surveillance if I was going to build a deck.
Definitely want to implement that in the deck.
Card called Never Happened. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it, they discard it. Or exile it, not even discard it. Yep. So just takes it out of the deck.
Yep, just like, and that's mine now.
And then also one that stood out for art and for function too is Sure Strike, a red non-direct damage spell that I think really would throw a kink in anybody's plans.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah.
+3/+0 and first strike.
Yeah.
That little 1/1 lifelink creature you have suddenly just murdered something a lot larger than it, and you gained 4 life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. March of the Multitudes. So here's another mythic rare.
Okay, so it's X, 1 green, 2 white. It's got Convoke, and then create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. That is.
And if you've got some of those global effects that can beef it up, that would be especially brutal.
Yeah, this can get out of hand very quickly. Selesnya, in my opinion, was one of the most stacked and powerful guilds in the last set.
Oh, yeah.
The set that was just released. So.
Speaking of which, the World Soul Colossus. This isn't even a rare, but I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, X, 1 white, 1 green, Convoke, and World Soul Colossus enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. That's just, you're going to have a good time.
All great cards.
Awesome.
Alright. We could probably start double opening now, don't you think?
So? Yeah, I think so.
Let's start really peeling through these and get to the end.
Yeah. Get to the other good stuff.
What? Get to the secret heroin pack?
Yeah, the one that has everything you ever wanted.
Pick of this pack is the Experimental Frenzy, which we haven't seen yet. You look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can play the top card of your library, but you can't play cards from your hand. You can pay 4 to destroy it, though, so that's not a bad card either.
Nice. That's awesome. So we've got an Angel and Boros kit.
Another hypothesis.
Nice. So we've got the pick of the pack here is Drowned Secrets. It's 1 colorless, 1 blue, and enchantment. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. So that is an awesome little bit of control for you. Yeah. The other thing in this deck that I wanted to take a look at was right back here, Crush Contraband. So it's a instant, 1 color or 3 colorless, 1 white. Choose 1 or both. Exile target artifact. Exile target enchantment. So
beautiful.
That's just some white control. A little bit of Azorius going on there.
Getting rid of an artifact and an enchantment. Although I haven't seen a ton of enchantments, but still, the ones that come out like the
they're
enhanced surveillance, you want to get rid of them.
Yeah, that's effective stuff.
All right. The Knight of Autumn. 3 mana, Selesnya, and when it enters the battlefield, you choose 2 +1/+1 counters for it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you gain 4 life. So once again, you've got your removal. You can buff the creature up, or just get some life out of it. And for 3 mana for 2/1, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's definitely effective. So this one is just a Temple Garden, so it's the Selesnya tap land.
Some red damage that's a little outside the norm is the Gravitic Punch.
Oh, yeah.
So you can just turn a creature's power into direct damage to an opponent, and it has Jumpstart, so you can play it from the graveyard with a discard.
Yep. Orcan Assassin, one of my favorites. So it has Death Touch. All creatures able to block Orcan Assassin do so.
So it's only a 1/1, but I was thinking if you get that +3/+0 and first strike with that, then you're taking out 4 creatures immediately with the first strike.
Yep.
So unless they have 5 creatures, you're guaranteed to survive that round.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Orcan Assassin, definitely effective.
I haven't seen a ton of equipment. I'm not sure if that's just our bad luck, but
yeah, I don't remember seeing a ton of equipment when I was playing, so I don't remember exactly how many there were, but I think it was probably less than 10. Right?
Less than 10? Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen, 2?
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah.
I'm personally a big fan, like I said, artifacts in general. Equipment, just increase your creature value. Those little tokens can get a lot deadlier.
Speaking of which, there's a artifact right here.
Beautiful.
Yes, equipment. So it's a 1 mana Silent Dart. Pay 4 taps, sacrifice Silent Dart. It deals 3 damage to target creature.
Oh, no, it's not equipment.
Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just a solid little artifact.
Sacrifice it and do some damage. It's a little pricey for me. I'm not sure I would use it. Oh, here we go. Tajik, Legion's Edge. It's a rare human soldier for Boros. Haste, Mentor. It's a 3/2. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control, so that's pretty nice.
Yep.
Preventing the direct damage. And then it gains first strike for 2 mana, so
that's awesome.
That's a fun little guy.
Yep. Very colorful card.
Here we go. Here's some equipment. The Glaive of the Guild Pact. So +1/+0, and if you have gates, for each gate you get +1/+0, and it has Vigilance and Menace. Actually, I'm going to set that aside over here.
Pick of the pack on this side is Deafening Clarion. So it's a Boros card. Choose one or both. Deafening Clarion deals 3 damage to each creature. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn.
There we go.
That's pretty solid. And the other exciting card in this deck that I found was Molder Hulk. So he's 9 mana, 6/6 Undergrowth. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard.
Nice.
And when Molder Hulk enters the battlefield, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Ooh.
So that's some stuff. That's some good stuff.
That
Especially if you're
tough.
getting milled, if you're surveilling or discarding. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at all of this. Like, the Convoke stuff is better if you have a lot of token creatures, but all the Undergrowth stuff really depends on you having, like, actual creatures that you've killed or discarded or
you
something.
need creatures in your graveyard for that, so...
Ooh, fun. Light of the Legion. It's 6 mana for a 5/5 flyer with Mentor, so not bad. And when it dies, it puts a +1/+1 counter on each white creature you control. Which, I mean, when it dies, a 5/5 flyer, that's a big loss. I don't think a +1/+1 for each creature, unless you've got, like, 6 1/1 lifelinks or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, on this side, pick of the pack is Find and Finality. It's a double card. So, Sorcery for Find. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. And Finality, yeah, it's a sorcery. You may pay up to 2 +1. You put up to 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. Then all creatures get -1 or -4 or -4 until end of turn. There we are.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to look at this one, the Crawl Harpooner. Did we go over this one yet?
No, we haven't.
It's a 3/2 Insect Warrior with Reach for 2 mana, so right off the bat, that's great.
Yeah.
And Undergrowth, when it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target creature with flying you don't control. It gets Crawl Harpooner gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Then you can have Crawl Harpooner fight that creature. So that's a fun little way to get rid of the flyers that you don't like.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is shiny. Alright, so pick of the pack here is Guildmage's Forum. Tap, add 1 colorless, and pay 1. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. If that mana is spent on a multicolored creature spell, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So that is an awesome.
Give me 4 of those.
Card. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, Prey Upon Foil.
Hey, yeah, we got another foil over here too. The Glowspore Shaman is a beautiful looking card, even if it's just
Oh yeah.
a 2 mana 3/1. When Glowspore Shaman enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. You may put a land card from your graveyard on the battlefield, onto your top of your library.
I'm not sure if you can see it if you were to hold it up, but like, yeah, the foil effect on this one is really nice. It looks like the fungus is kind of glowing all around the character.
Yeah, very beautiful artwork.
Oh, Beast Whisperer. I don't know. Did we do this one yet?
We haven't.
No, yeah. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. It's 2/3 for 4 mana. Very effective, very fun little card.
Mm-hmm.
Status and Statue, which when I was reading about the breakdown of this set, Status and Statue apparently placed quite high. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains Death Touch, or target creature or destroy target creature, artifact, or enchantment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fun little bonus.
Oh, there you go. A little bit of Goblin, a little bit of Legion.
Ooh, rare Goblin.
That's right, a Legion War Boss. 2 colors, 1 red. He's a mentor, and he's got, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. That token gains haste until end of turn and attacks this combat if able. So he is a fun little Gobbo. Solid Boros card.
And that's the last pack there, right?
I believe so. There's nothing more under the heaps of...
Oh, wait, no, never mind. There were 2 hiding under there, 1 for each of us.
1 for each of us. That's special.
Beautiful. I was just looking at Selective Snare, which is interesting. Return X target creatures of the creature type of your choice to their owner's hand. And it's X and blue, so... I mean, it's pretty good, but I'm not sure if that kind of limit is necessary.
It's a really, like, tapered down kind of control, but...
It's an uncommon. Like, I would say that's a common.
Yeah. Ooh. Alright, okay, so... pick of the pack here. Dawn of Hope, 1 colorless, 1 white, enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, you draw a card.
Beautiful.
Pay 3 colorless, 1 white, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink.
A nice
awesome.
Cheap enchantment that generates some creatures and some card draw.
Yeah.
That's not bad. We've got a foil goblin, the Goblin Locksmith. When it attacks, creatures with Defender can't block, so that's
Love that.
nice.
Awesome. Oh.
And the Dream Eater.
Oh,
Dream Eater.
mythic.
Oh, Dream Eater. Flying and Flash. When Dream Eater enters the battlefield, surveil 4. Whenever you do, you may return target. When you do, you may return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to owner's hand. So 4/3 flying with Flash. 6 mana is a little pricey, but it's pretty and scary.
Oh, just pretty scary.
Yeah.
That's right. And over here we've got, let's see, Whispering Snitch. So he's a 1 colorless, 1 black, 1/3. Whenever you surveil for the first time each turn, Whispering Snitch deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. So that's a little bit of fun to play with your surveil mechanic that's already throughout your deck. Anything else exciting?
The Night Veil Predator. I'm not sure if we already did that one. 3/3 flying Death Touch hexproof. Like, this is pretty killer.
That's gonna be a game ender right there.
Yeah, this is. I would say this is almost as bad as like the old Vampire Nighthawk.
Oh man,
that was I
have no words for him.
Ruined our day.
At least no words that can go on screen.
Well, yeah. It looks like we're done. That's the whole box right there.
Yeah, thanks so much to Shane at Fort Gaming Collectibles for giving us the opportunity to go through this box. This was just awesome insight into everything that's been in this set, and I'm sure there's a little bit of, maybe 1 or 2 cards we didn't get to look over, but
yeah, I feel like we pulled most of the really good stuff out of the box. I guess if you want to get anything more in depth out of the set, you have to get them from the Planeswalker decks.
Yeah, I picked up one of those, the Draft Planeswalker deck. It was pretty good, but definitely gave a little bit more dynamic to this deck, so worth checking out.
All right, and I guess the next time we're going to be doing this, to this thing. Once again, also our sponsor, Gateway Pizza. Get your one of everything at Gateway Pizza. All right. Well, this has been unboxing for Guilds of Ravnica.
Yep.
And we hope to see you at the next unboxing of whatever set we do.
Awesome. Thanks so much for checking out Mercy of Whims.
Oh, and don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends.
My name's Aurelius.
And I'm Rawkitman.
This has been Mercy of Whims.
Mercy.